Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
An episode of the Best of Groucho and You Bet Your Life, the summer series that ran on June 20th, 1951. And this episode, well, Groucho's got a couple of young people that want to get married someday.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is door. D-O-O-R.
Really?
You bet your life. More than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present the Best of Groucho. Yes, friends, it's a Groucho summertime. By popular demand from your letters, from rating histories, and the acclaim of critics, the DeSoto Plymouth dealers bring you selected shows from You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. Groucho Marx is on vacation, friends, and will return in the fall. Until then, it's fun and laughs each week this summer as we proudly present some of the best of Groucho's past shows. And here he is, the one, the only... Groucho!
That's me, Groucho Marx. Well, here I am again with $1,500 for one of our couples tonight. Mr. Fenneman, who's first to try for the $1,500?
Well, just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected two young single people who said they'd like to get married someday.
How refreshing.
They found the right person. Yeah. And here they are, Miss Barbara Polis and Sailor Walt Rung. How do you go for this, Walt?
Rungitis.
I want you to meet Groucho Marx.
Well, howdy do to you. Howdy do to you. Oh, welcome, youngsters, to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. A sailor and a girl, eh? Walt Rungitis. What branch of the Navy are you in, Walter?
Coast Guard.
Coast Guard, huh? Well, you can relax. The coast is clear. Where are you from, Walt?
Well, originally Los Angeles, but I haven't stayed in one place too long.
Is there some particular reason for that? Were you pursued by something?
Well, not exactly. But...
Handsome dog, isn't he? He isn't really a dog, but he's handsome. He's a sea dog, yes. An old sea dog. How old are you, Walt?
23.
Barbara Polis?
That's right.
What's your hometown, Barbara?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. How old are you?
19.
19? Mm-hmm. I ought to be 19 again. Or even 50. What kind of a name is Polis, Barbara?
Well, it's Lithuanian.
Oh, you're a Litva?
Originally, I suppose.
It's funny, because so am I.
You
really?
2 Litvaks? Well, 2 Litvaks makes 1 Slovak, doesn't it? Now, tell me, Davy Jones, what are your duties as a seaman?
Well, they consist of a lot. I squeegee down decks and kai them and...
What's a squeegee down deck?
Well, a squeegee's a little rubber gizmo on a end of a handle.
What's a gizmo?
It's a piece of wood.
What sort of work do you do, Bob? Barbara?
Oh, I go to school. I'm a low junior at UCLA. I'm majoring in French.
Oh. Well, let's push this romance a little faster. We're wasting valuable time. Hey, Admiral?
Might as well.
What's your schedule tomorrow night, Walt?
Oh, I'm free.
Are you doing anything tomorrow night, Barbara?
Well, I'll be busy at the Y tomorrow night.
Well, if you're busy at the YMCA, I'm sure you'll be busy. What do you mean, you'll be busy
well,
at the
I'm
Y?
a volunteer at the YWCA.
Oh, the YWCA. Oh, I volunteered there many times, but I've always been rejected for some curious reason. Well, could you use any more volunteers at the YWCA?
Hundreds of them.
Well, maybe I can help you. Would you like me to get you some volunteers?
Mm-hmm.
Barnacle Bill, how many men are there in the Coast Guard?
Well, offhand, I'd say thousands.
Is that enough volunteers, Barbara?
Well, we're looking for women volunteers.
What do you think the Coast Guard is looking for, Goldfish? Where are you stationed, Walt?
On the Minnetonka.
That's a lake in Minnesota, Walt. Does the Coast Guard know about this?
Yes, but ours is the U.S. Coast Guard weather ship.
Oh. Well, what's the captain's name? Minnehaha?
Knudsen.
You better explain yourself. Man.
Well, Minnetonka is a weather ship, and we usually travel out in the Pacific, and we send up balloons with tinfoil and stuff like that on it.
Oh, playing games, huh? That's where the taxpayers' money goes. They're sending up balloons in the Pacific.
Well, it has tinfoil on it. And then the radar tracks it.
It has tinfoil on it?
Yeah. Well, the radar's got to pick it up.
Well, I didn't know it had tinfoil on it. I think you should send balloons up if they have tinfoil on it. Where do you go on these trips?
Oh, any place throughout the Pacific. The last one we were up around the Aleutians and the Bering Straits.
Mm-hmm. That must have been an interesting trip. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, but it got a little bit rough. I mean, it was, well, about a 60-knot wind, and the deck was always underwater. We almost cracked up a couple times. We were afraid it might split the ship up.
Well, you fellas do a hero's job, but nobody hears about it. Put it there, kid. Now, when you're out on a cruise like the one to Alaska, how long do you stay?
About 90 days.
3 months, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And in all that time, did you go on any dates?
No, we were aboard ship. We usually just chewed our gums and listened to squawk boxes and laid in the rack and played AC-doocy.
You listen to the squawk boxes and lay in the rack and play AC-doocy. That's English as it is spoken in the Aleutians. Well, you're a charming couple, and I hope you'll be very happy together. He's so nautical, she's so cutical, and I'm so prehistorical. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to work together as a team for a chance at the $1,500. But first, here's something of importance.
June 20th, 1951, The Best of Groucho on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to Medishare for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And Medishare's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medishare is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Groucho's You Bet Your Life show was always pre-recorded, and so he could take the summer off without having to have an act to fill in for him. That's why you had The Best of Groucho on June 20th, 1951. More The Best of Groucho on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
All right, now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. George,
yes, sir.
Would you explain the rules?
Certainly. You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions. And the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question at the end of the show.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can bet you $20. You selected movies about wars. How much you going to bet?
15.
$15. Vivian Lee and Clark Gable starred in a picture about the Civil War. What was the name of it?
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind is right.
Well, to a good start, you have $35.
Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. How much of your 35 will you risk?
30.
30. In 1930, the late Louis Wollheim and Lou Ayres starred in a picture about German soldiers. It was written by Eric Remarque. What was the name of it?
All Quiet on the Western Front.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
You're really climbing. You have $65.
Here's your third question. How much of your 65 will you bet?
55.
Gregory Peck played a tough Air Force general in a picture about the bombardment of Europe during World War II. What was the name of the picture?
12 o'clock high.
12 o'clock high. I was high the other night at 12 o'clock myself.
You now have $120.
10. How much have they got?
$120.
Okay, Mr. Fenneman. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 120 will you bet?
100.
100. Gary Cooper played the title role in a picture of a sharpshooting soldier of World War I. What was the name of the picture?
Sergeant York.
Sergeant York is right. Oh, brother, they're not kidding, huh?
And besides that, you wind up with $220.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Who's next, George?
Well, let's see. We invited some horsewomen and some schoolboys to the program tonight. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Janet O'Neill and Bob Bowles. And here they are, folks. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, youngsters, to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Janet O'Neill, you're a horsewoman?
Yes, I am.
Well, you're a mighty attractive filly. Where are you from? Philadelphia? Or Side Saddle, Wyoming?
Holyoke, Massachusetts.
How long since you've been in Holyoke?
27 years.
Oh, you left there when you were a year old, huh?
No.
6 months old.
No.
Well, I won't pry any further. You're the schoolboy?
Yes.
How old are you, Bob Bowles, huh? That sounds like a simple declarative, Bob Bowles. I think it's a declarative. Is that a declarative? Simple declarative? Well, you won't get any more simple declarative than me up here. Bob Bowles, huh? How old are you, Bob?
14.
14? Well, you're a pretty large-sized lad for 14. You're the large economy size, huh? What school do you go to?
San Fernando High.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to be when you get out of school, Bob?
Well, I'd like to be a farmer.
Farmer? Why?
Well, I'm interested in farm work, and I like the farm animals, and think a farm is a healthy place to live.
Well, that's a very worthy ambition. If we had a few more farmers in this country, we'd have more farmers. Have more farmers' daughters, too. And if we had more farmers' daughters, we'd have more farmers. Now let the Department of Agriculture fool around with that. Janet, are you married?
No, I'm not.
You're not married?
No,
An attractive young woman like you with a horse and you're not married? Some horsewoman, she hasn't even been down the bridle path. Are you married, Bob?
No.
Some schoolboy, not even married yet. You spend much time with girls?
Not much.
Why not?
Too busy.
Busy with what?
With my pigs.
That's a very hammy attitude, Bob. You going to stand there and tell me that you prefer pigs to girls? What kind of girls have you been going out with? We ought to double date sometime. We could go hog wild. How come you're interested in pigs?
Well, I belong to...
How come is a southern colloquialism. It's a sister to a simple declarative. How is it you're interested in pigs?
Well, I
Swine
belong
is
to...
German for pigs.
belong to the 4-H...
I explain everything. But I beg your pardon. You say you're from Holyoke? And you're from, where are you from?
Los Angeles.
Oh, Los Angeles. How come you're interested in pigs?
Well, I belong to the 4-H club, and it's my project in 4-H.
What's the 4-H club? Harry's, Herring, and Halibut Hunters?
No, it's a club for rural boys and girls between the ages of 10 and 21 that are interested in farming.
I see. But what's the significance of the 4-H's? Do they stand for anything?
They stand for head, heart, hands, and health, and it's in a pledge which goes, I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living, for my club, my community, and my country. That's a wonderful pledge, and I wish I could take it. But we're too late. I've already pledged my head to the Smithsonian Institute. Let's see, you're the horsewoman, eh?
Yes, I am.
Where are you from, Janet?
Holyoke, Massachusetts.
Holyoke, Massachusetts. Did you come out here side saddle?
No, I didn't.
Do you have a horse, Janet?
Yes, I have a horse.
What does he do when you're not riding him? Does he pull a plow?
No, he doesn't pull a plow.
What kind of a horse is it?
He's a registered thoroughbred horse by Palatial out of KDL.
KDL? That's a radio station, isn't it? Imagine a horse emerging from that, eh? Well, I had no idea your horse was that important. Do you accept my apology?
I do.
Barbara, I'm not proposing. I'm just apologizing. Now, let's get back to your pigs, Bob. Is there money in raising pigs?
Yes, if you do it the right way. If you know your business.
I see. Well, how much have you made so far this year?
Well, I lost about $15.35. I lost about $15.35.
Oh, I see. This is a federal project, eh? That's the old joke, but you had to accompany the pigs all winter, isn't it? Well, how come you lost money?
Well, I've just had the expenses, and so when I start selling the pigs, I'll have the profits to add up.
Oh. Well, how much do you estimate you'll make when the season is over?
About $50.
Well, if you make a profit, be sure you file your income tax return. With all those pigs around, you know, one of them might squeal. Well, it's been fun talking to you two, and most instructive. Now, let's see how well you work together as a team. You're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,500 question. I can't tell you how much our first couple won, but George Fenneman is going to remind our listeners.
The Coast Guardsman and the girl won $220.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can bet you $20. You selected Famous Brothers. How much are you going to bet?
$10.
$10. George and Ira were both famous in the songwriting field. What's their surname?
Gershwin.
Gershwin is right. Huh? That wasn't an easy question, you know. That's very difficult music that the Gershwins write. Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of your $30 will you bet on this one?
20.
20. James, Elliot, and John are sons of a famous father. What's their surname?
You know. Roosevelt.
Roosevelt is right.
You now have $50.
How much are you going to bet?
40.
40.
Dizzy and Daffy were both famous pitchers. What's their last name?
Dean.
The Melancholy Dean is right.
You now have climbed to $90.
Now you have $90, huh? Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 90 are you going to bet? Now, Janet, don't be giddy.
Okay.
Two famous brothers made flying history at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. What's their name?
Wright brothers.
You have the Wright brothers that time. Put it there. Give Todd a big kiss. They're helping you with this. Give him a big kiss now. Come on now.
And you wind up
How
with
motherly can you get, huh?
$180.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Just before we went on the air, we selected a man with an interesting occupation and a housewife. Both were volunteers from the audience. And here they are, Mrs. Lola Davis and Mr. Carl Brenneman. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, children, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word, and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Carl Brenneman, eh? Where are you from, Carl?
I was born in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania.
How long you been out here?
About 6 years.
Are you married?
Yes, sir, very much so.
Mrs. Lola Davis.
Yes.
You're the housewife?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I was born in Athens, Arkansas.
Athens? I thought that was in Greece. Just where is Athens?
It's close to the Queen.
I may sound stupid, but I've never heard of the Queen. Where is that?
The Queen is
that
close...
the Queen for a day?
No, the Queen.
Oh, the Queen.
And it's close to Locksburg and Bumblebee and Big Fork.
Oh, of course, Big Fork. That's right next to Little Fork, isn't it? Isn't that right? Well, give me one little hint. Where the Sam Hill is Bequeen?
About 1,500 miles east of here.
Well, keep it there. I'm pretty sick of the whole thing. Now, Mr. Brenneman, let's get back to you for a moment. You have a very familiar and famous name. Were you related to Tom Brenneman?
That's right. Tom was my brother, Groucho.
Oh, well, he was a wonderful performer. I'm sure he'll be remembered by millions of people. You lost a great guy when he went.
Thank you, Groucho.
You have an unusual occupation. What is it?
Well, I conduct tours. My tour is called Seeing Hollywood with Carl Brenneman.
Well, suppose people would prefer not to be seen with Carl Brenneman. What kind of a racket is this?
Well, it's not actually a racket. I conduct a personally conducted tour of Hollywood.
You mean you take them personally?
Yes, I take them
Piggyback?
No. I use a bus.
Oh. Let's pretend that Lola and I are tourists and we climb up on your rubberneck wagon. Now, what do?
Well, I show them the Wilshire District, featuring the famous Miracle Mile, the Farmers Market, Grauman's Chinese Theater, and Actually, Hollywood proper.
I didn't know there was any part of Hollywood at the time. Mrs. Davis? I'll call you Lola. Huh?
Okay, that's fine. That's
what kind of a town is Athens?
It's just a little country inland town. One store, general store, and post office.
Do you live in the heart of this metropolis?
No, I live out in the country.
Is that Athens too fast for you, Lola?
Oh, no.
You lived on a farm?
Yes.
Well, did you work around the farm?
Oh, yes. I milked the cows and slapped the hogs and fed the chickens and gathered the eggs and chopped the cotton and...
What'd you slap the hogs for? Did they say something wrong?
Oh, it's sweet if you didn't.
Can you call hogs?
Yes.
Let me hear you call a hog.
We won a contest one time. Here goes, sir! Come on, boys!
I bet you when she hollered out, everybody ran, huh? Man, woman, and beast, huh? How's the food down there in Arkansas? Do you have lots of corn pone and molasses?
Well, I don't care for molasses, and I don't care for corn pone. I like cornbread the best, you know.
And we'll get the skinny on corn pone when You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx continues June 20th, 1951, right here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. You have no idea how hard it is today for me to say corn pone, but it was. Groucho Marx, You Bet Your Life, June 20th, 1951.
Is there a difference between corn
yes,
pone?
corn pone is made with hot water and salt and cornmeal, and I like an egg and some baking powders and milk in my cornbread. And then I like the other, I'd rather have the cornbread, turnip greens, hog joe, black-eyed peas, baked possum, sweet potatoes, something like that instead of the corn pone and molasses.
Say, you made me hungry for that whole meal, Lola.
Well,
I wish you'd send me one of those meals.
We have hot biscuits and fried chicken, too.
Well, that you can get here, but I like all that other stuff, that's sow belly and everything. Did you always live in Athens?
No, I lived out east of Mena.
You lived on a misdemeanor, did you say?
E-A-S-T, east of Mena.
Oh, east of Mena. Is that somewhere east of Suez?
No, that's
now, where
down,
is Mena?
That's down close to Ink, Rocky, Shaker, Opal, Cherry Hill.
not go all through that again, huh? Can't we just settle and let's say it's 1,000 miles east of St. Louis? Well, it's been very interesting talking to you two, and I never thought we'd have Lum and Abner as contestants on the show. Now, let's see how well you work together as a team. You're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question. I can't tell you how much the other couples won, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The Coast Guardsman and the girl are still leading with $220.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected famous restaurants. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
I don't bet. You go ahead. I'll leave it out.
Well, let's bet 15. Is that all right?
It's up to you. I'm here for the fun of it.
We'll bet 15.
15. Okay. In what city do you find Toots Shor's restaurant?
Toots Shor's. New York?
New York is right.
Off to a good start. You have $35.
Shall we bet?
Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of your 35 will you bet on your second question?
Shall we bet 30?
You go ahead.
Well, let's bet 30. Gotcha.
Okay. Now, in what city on the Great Lakes do you find the famous pump room?
That would be Chicago.
Chicago is right. He's been all over with that bus.
You now have $65.
And here's your third question. How much of the 65 you're going to try?
Shall we bet 62?
Okay.
We'll bet 62.
In what city do you find Romanov's restaurant?
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills is right.
You have $127.
And here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the $127 you're going to try?
Yuri.
Hey, take it easy. Her husband's out front.
That's my wife. Let's bet 125.
Well, maybe they'll get together.
We'll bet 125.
You're going to bet 125, huh? In what western city do you find the Cliff House?
Say it.
You know it?
No, you say it.
You sure?
I'm
the Cliff House.
Talk it over.
San Francisco?
San Francisco is right. Thanks and good luck to the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
I've got some good news for you because you wind up with $252, and that means that you get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question. And here's the winning couple, Groucho. The tourist guide and the housewife all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question.
Here we go for $1,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Let's see how observant you are. The picture of the White House is on only one piece of United States currency. For $1,500, what is the denomination of this bill? One answer.
You answer.
$10?
No, I'm sorry. It's the $20 bill.
I started to say that.
So that means the big question next week will be worth $2,000. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win in the quiz, George?
$252.
Well, congratulations and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this same time for the Best of Groucho from the You Bet Your Life series. Don't miss the Best of Groucho on television, too. Also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks. And remember, see the DeSoto Fire Dome 8 tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Cross town or cross country. Slow down for blind intersections and be prepared to stop. You Bet Your Life. Transcribed from Hollywood is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
June 20th, 1951, Groucho Marx, You Bet Your Life on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the soap opera Front Page Farrell. This show used to run on Mutual from 1941 to 1942, and NBC from 1942 to 1954. And this episode stars Staats Cotsworth. You remember him from the Casey Crime Photographer series, which we've aired here periodically. And this episode, Fatal Smile, is from June 20th, 1949.
We now present the exciting, unforgettable radio drama, Front Page Farrell. The story of a crack newspaper man and his wife. The story of David and Sally Farrell. Today, David is covering the story which he calls The Case of the Fatal Smile. Now, Front Page Farrell, and the story he's covering for his newspaper. The story he calls The Fatal Smile. Under the spell of a warm June evening, David Farrell and his wife Sally have left their apartment after dinner to go for a drive in the country. As David Farrell heads the car north into suburban Westchester County, he leaves behind the teeming island of Manhattan and, perhaps for a little while, the cares of gathering stories for his newspaper, the New York Daily Eagle. Darkness is falling. Over the purring of the motor comes the sound of music, borne on the gentle breeze. Sally Farrell sighs peacefully and says,
Isn't it nice of whoever's doing it to provide music to go with such a lovely evening in the country?
I'll take all the credit, Sally, darling. I phoned the county and told them to arrange suitable entertainment for my wife.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Wonder where it's coming from.
Sounds like a carousel somewhere. Like to go for a ride?
Oh, on a merry-go-round?
Yeah, why not, huh?
Oh, David, for goodness sake.
Oh, why not, honey? Come on.
Well, come to think of it, why not? Oh, it'd be too much trouble to find the place, wouldn't it, David?
No trouble at all. Now, there. Look straight ahead. Just off the road. You see the lights?
Well, yes. What is it, David? It's more than just a carousel. Look at all those cars there.
Hey, it's a carnival. Yes, ma'am, there's the sign. Pearson and Waters Mammoth Carnival. I don't see how we can pass this up, Sally.
Oh, I don't know, David.
Now, darling, if it were just an ordinary carnival, okay, but this is not. It's a mammoth carnival.
Oh, what age does a little boy grow up? Oh, all right, David. Where can we park the car?
Right here. In this mammoth lot set aside for the purpose. There. Now, come on, honey. I'll buy you some popcorn.
All right.
Hurry, folks. Right this way. Gentlemen, drinkers, 50 cents. 1/2 of $1. Children, half price.
Hurry, Sally. Boy, this is really living, isn't it?
Help yourself, folks. Help yourself to an evening of thrills unrivaled anywhere. Help for worthy cause.
Oh, what's the worthy cause, Mr. Pearson or Mr. Waters?
Don't be cynical, Sally, darling. Lots of times local organizations tie in with these carnivals and get part of the proceeds. Yeah, there you are. See? Benefit of Associated Meadowville Charities.
Well, that's good enough for me, David. Come on, let's go in.
2 tickets, please.
Yes, sir. 2 tickets for the gentleman.
Thank you, sir.
Hurry, folks. Right this way. Ride the carousel, folks. Ride the carousel. 10 cents a ride.
Right
now, the biggest caterpillar ride you ever had. More speed, more thrills, and all for 15 cents. 15 cents for the caterpillar. Here you are. 3 balls for a dime. Knock 'em down and win a prize.
Well, Sally, what'll it be? The merry-go-round or the caterpillar? Hey, how about the Ferris wheel? Looks like a nice big one over there.
David, let's not rush in, Benny.
Well, honey, we got to do something.
We should start with something less exciting.
Huh?
Here, why don't you throw baseballs at those things that will look like milk bottles and see if you can win a prize for me?
Those things are next to impossible to hit. Look, see that athletic-looking young fellow throwing his arm out? He isn't hitting him.
Yes, and no wonder. He has his eyes on that pretty girl with him instead of on... David, do you know her?
Who?
That girl.
What girl?
The one with the boy throwing baseballs at the milk bottles.
No, I don't know her. Why?
Because she's standing there smiling at you.
At me? Rather attractive smile, too.
Of all the nerve.
Oh, she can't be smiling at me.
Oh, can't she?
No.
But she's coming over to you right now.
Well, all right, honey. Now, don't pull me away. She can't bite us, can she?
Her teeth look good enough to bite anything.
Hello. Hello there.
Hello.
Don't you remember me, Mr. Farrell?
Well, yes, of course. How have you been?
You don't, do you?
Well, it's just that
I'm Marcia Vaughn.
Marcia Vaughn. Oh, Marcia Vaughn? For Pete's sake.
I guess I've changed a little, Mr. Farrell.
A little? Sally, this is Tom Vaughn's daughter. Marcia, my wife, Sally.
How do you do, Mrs. Farrell?
Oh, my, I'm glad to meet you, Marcia. I've heard David mention your father so many times.
Sure. How is your dad, Marcia? I haven't seen him in years.
He's fine. We live in Brookdale. That's the next town over.
Marcia,
say, listen, I can't hit those doggone things.
Oh.
Come here, Spencer. I'd like you to meet Mr. and Mrs. Farrell. This is Spencer Hull, Jr.
Glad to meet you, Mr. Hull.
You read the Daily Eagle, don't you, Spencer?
Sure.
Then you should know who Mr. Farrell is. David Farrell.
Oh, say, I've seen lots of your stories on the front page, Mr. Farrell.
Spencer's father is president of Associated Meadowville Charities. And they're sponsoring the carnival, you know.
Hope they make lots of money, Spencer.
Oh, they'll do all right. It's a good crowd. Well, it's been nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you. Marcia, tell your dad I'm going to look him up one of these days.
Goodbye, Marcia.
Goodbye. And please do that, Mr. Farrell. I know Dad would love to see you again.
Oh, isn't she one of the most attractive girls, David? I'm surprised you didn't remember her.
Sally, darling, the last time I saw Marcia, she was a gangling kid, all knees and elbows. What about that boy she's with,
Oh, you mean that he's good-looking?
No, I mean that. I mean his papa has a big bundle of what it takes to buy groceries. Did you ever hear of Spencer Hull Sr.?
No.
He's a big oil man. Or he used to be. I guess he's retired now. Just goes to show that a girl with a smile like Marcia's can always get herself any young man she likes.
Well, if you ask me, David, I'd say that a girl with a smile like Marcia's should keep it under wraps.
Why?
Because that's just the sort of a smile that can cause lots of trouble.
Number 27. Number 27 wins. What do you take, miss?
I'd like that little China dog, please. Spencer, isn't this fun?
Sure, but take your prize, Marcia, and let's go.
No, Spencer, I want to stay and win more things.
Now, don't be silly, Marcia. You won't win again, just because you were lucky twice.
It wasn't luck. All I had to do was play the numbers he told me to.
He told you to. What does that fella know about it?
He works for the carnival, doesn't he?
Yeah, so what? He's just a laborer here. What do you call it? A roustabout. How does he know which of the numbers will win?
Spencer, all I can say is I took his advice twice, and I won.
But, Marcia...
Now, play your numbers, folks. Play your numbers. A lot of valuable prizes to win. Yes, miss. What number are you going to play this time?
Number 19, beautiful. Play number 19.
Shall I?
All right. Number 19, please.
Well, round and round she goes. And where she stops, nobody knows.
Marcia, I don't want you smiling at that bum.
He's not a bum, Spencer. Shabby clothes don't make a man a bum. And besides, I didn't smile at him.
Why did he start talking to you?
I don't know. Unless I smiled at Mr. Farrell and this fellow thought I meant it for him.
Why does he keep hanging around you?
Spencer, please.
Number 19 wins. The lucky lady wins again. What'll it be, miss?
I'll take that jackknife, please. Thank you. Here you are, Spencer. Present for you.
Does that improve your disposition?
I'm overjoyed, Marcia. If there's anything I wanted, it's a jackknife.
Well, what do you say, beautiful? How's about ditching this here wet blanket and try a whirl with me, huh?
No, really.
Watch out there, fella.
No kidding. I'll show you a good time, beautiful. Got you 3 winning numbers, didn't I? What do you need little JoJo for?
Look, it was very nice of you to give me those numbers, but I don't want any more. Goodbye. Let's go somewhere else, Spencer.
Oh, wait a minute, beautiful. Don't run out on me.
Take your hand off her.
What are you going to do about it if I don't, JoJo?
That's a sample. And if you want any more, just say so.
I want some more. Okay, JoJo? Let's go behind this tent where nobody will bother us.
Go ahead. I'm right behind you.
Spencer, don't.
I'll handle this, Marcia. You wait for me.
Oh, Spencer. Mr. Farrell, this is Marcia Vaughn. I know it's late, but you've got to help me.
Oh, that's all right, Marcia. Sally and I just got home. What's the matter?
It's the most awful thing, Mr. Farrell, and it's all my fault.
Well, your fault. What is?
Spencer had a fight with the boy at the carnival over me, and Mr. Farrell, Spencer stabbed him.
A phone call at midnight banishes sleep from David Farrell's mind and starts him on the trail of a new adventure. Has the smile of lovely Marcia Vaughn brought on tragedy? Be sure to listen again tomorrow for Front Page Farrell and the exciting story he's covering for his newspaper. The story he calls The Fatal Smile. Front Page Farrell is from the original radio play by Frank and Ann Hummert and produced under their supervision. Dialogue by Harold Guest. Staats Cotsworth plays David, and Florence Williams is Sally. It'll be on the air at this same time tomorrow. This is Ed Fleming saying goodbye for the sponsors of Front Page Farrell.
The Hummerts brought 125 different series to the airwaves. A production dynasty over which they presided extended very, very far beyond so many. There's a book by a fellow, Jim Cox, no relation, that talks about this. Frank and Ann Hummert's Radio Factory, the programs and personalities of radio's most prolific producers. They controlled 4.5 hours of the national weekday broadcast schedule by the 1940s. And some of those shows include Just Plain Bill, The Romance of Helen Trent, Ma Perkins, Backstage Wife, and, of course, Young Witter Brown, Mr. Keen, Tracer of Lost Persons, Mr. Chameleon, and musical programs, The American Album of Familiar Music and the Manhattan Merry-Go-Round. They're credited with the creation of 61 radio soap operas. And he was, advertising's Frank Hummert, was one of radio's highest paid executives. Among the people who played Front Page Farrell, not only Staats Cotsworth, as you heard today, but Richard Widmark, Carlton G. Young, both played Farrell. His wife was portrayed by Virginia Dwyer and Florence Williams. An episode of Front Page Farrell, June 20th, 1949, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit my webpage to learn more about classic radio collecting. You can also contact me there. And if you want to really support this program, there's a little function there called Buy Me a Coffee. You can do that. And not only if you want to buy me a Dr. Pepper, but you can also help us acquire new radio programs. It's a costly venture, but we continue to do it to continue to grow this program on our 100 or so radio stations across the nation. Speaking of which, please thank this station and support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be here each and every day at this time. And tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.